This is the first dog we're going to show you today. You're looking at Lucy. Lucy is a 5-month-old black and white English Springer Spaniel, spayed female. Owner didn't want her, so she just turned her loose. And she was caught and brought in here. Somebody found the dog. The first time, brought her to the owner. The owner said she didn't want her anymore. She was dirty and smelled, and she didn't have time. People who found her brought her in to save a pet. This is another puppy mill dog bought from a pet shop. No one checking the people who bought her. No one checking the home. She is incredibly sweet, very dear, very loving little dog. Can you see if you can turn her so we can see her pretty face? She's absolutely beautiful. She's a baby. She's 5 months old. We don't know what kind of training she's had, but we know that she's young and she's little and she's outgoing and she was living with another dog. So yes, good with other dogs. Yes, good with everybody. Sweet, loving, beautiful English Springer Spaniel, waiting for someone to take her home and love her for the rest of her life and treat her as she should have been treated from puppyhood. This is lovely, lovely Lucy, and she's waiting for a forever home of her own. Now you're looking at Panda. Panda is a lab mix. She's about 10 years old. She's been here for a very long time. Nobody can quite figure out why. This is a lovely, loving people dog. She's even been to dog training classes. She failed the class at the last session, even though she'd learned all the things she was supposed to learn, because she wouldn't hold a sit long enough. She wanted to go up and be with the people. And she just kept getting up and going to greet everyone in class and say hi. They called her the class greeter. They say she isn't good with other dogs, but she seemed fine with the dogs in class. However, probably the best thing for her would be to be an only dog. And because she's been in the shelter for as long as she's been in the shelter, I would say no small kids, no toddlers, no infants. Certainly somebody who's old enough to walk her is old enough to have her. And she walks nicely on a leash. She knows how to heel. She knows how to sit. She knows how to sniff. Panda, would you sit? Panda, sit. Good girl. See, she really wants to do anything in her power to please you, and she doesn't understand why people keep passing her by, because all this dog wants to do is give love. Her name is Panda, and she's waiting for that one person who will look beyond the age and look into the eyes and see the love that she's dying to share. This is Panda. Okay, you're looking at Simon and Garfunkel, two male beagles found running loose as strays. Simon is about 5 and Garfunkel is about 6. And they're very bonded to each other. They cry when you try to separate them. Very typical beagles. They love to follow their noses. They love to jump in your lap and cuddle. Great with children, great with dogs, great with just about everybody. I'm told they're very new here, but everybody's falling in love with them. They don't know how to play with toys yet, but everybody in the shelter is working very, very hard at teaching them, and the chances are that they'll learn quickly. These two little dogs need to go together because they are bonded to each other, found running together as a pair, are kept together, and are very, very unhappy apart. So if you're looking for 2 wet noses, 2 happy tails, 4 running legs, and 2 hearts filled with love, come take a look at Simon and Garfunkel. Bozo is a 2.5-year-old multi-mix. And they say Bozo's a nasty name for a dog, but this guy indeed is Bozo the clown. He's happy, he loves to play, he loves life. He'd be good in a home with another dog, but another dog that's as active as he is, because he is a very active boy. He likes to run, he likes to jump, he likes to play. He could use a fenced yard, certainly an area that he can run in, because he's got to run off some of this energy. You see, all he wants to do is climb into the camera and into your lap. This guy's tail never stops wagging. Oh, I know. He wants everybody to pet him. He wants everybody to love him. That's all this guy wants. He can be a little rough in his play, so we're saying no small children. There's not an ounce of vice in this dog, just a tremendous amount of bounce, energy, play, pull, and love. He's just a wonderful dog. He needs an active family to belong to. He needs a lot of exercise. But most of all, Bozo needs a lot of love. This is a sweet, loving, highly energetic dog that needs a family who will run him off his toes, or maybe he'll run them off their toes. His name is Bozo. The dog you're looking at now is Capone. He's 6.5 years old. He is a neutered male American Staffordshire Terrier and almost a statistic. This is a dog that was removed from a cruelty home. He lived his life on a chain. He was beaten almost on a daily basis. You can still see scars on his face from where he was beaten. Beaten cruelly, beaten almost to death. When the neighbor kids came to see him, he always had a smile and a wag for them. They couldn't make him anything but sweet, no matter how often they beat him, no matter how cruelly they treated him, no matter what they did to him. They could not make this dog anything but a lover. The kid who brought him, when he was confiscated, the dog was standing on his hind legs and washing that little kid's face with kisses. He has suffered unbelievable abuse. He has come through that abuse being every bit as sweet and every bit as loving and every bit as kind as any dog could ever be. Now he needs someone who will take him and love him. His favorite toys here are a big hard rubber ball and the wading pool. You can hardly keep him out of the pool. He takes the ball, puts it in the pool, and climbs and sits on the ball in the pool, entertains himself when there's nobody to play with. But Capone would much rather be with people. So if you aren't afraid of that nasty name Amstaff, and if you look at this dog and see the abuse that he has suffered, and if you look at that tail and see how it never stops wagging and the dog is always sweet and always kind, you'll realize that he deserves a chance. It isn't even a second chance. It's a first chance at a loving home. This guy's been through hell. He'd like to come out the other side whole and loving with a family to love him. His name is Capone. Bosco is also a rescue. He's 4.5 years old. He's a neutered male beagle. Was in a rescue which failed and failed the animals that they had on the premises badly. Those animals are being, or most of them have been, distributed at this point. He came out of it with a great spirit and a great love for life and love for people. He has a best friend here named Angel. He'd probably like to go home with her, but it's not necessary. More important is that he just go home. He'd probably like to have another dog around because he does love to play and run with other dogs. He can be independent, as beagles often are, and then there are other times that he only wants to cuddle. He's food motivated, so we kind of don't recommend small children because he won't want to share his dish with a baby. But children who know enough to respect him when he's eating are certainly old enough, and beagles are wonderful with children. And a turn-around dog, we want to see your pretty face. Let's see if we can get his face around just so that you can see just how handsome he is. He is a beautiful young dog. He is a very loving fellow. He's had 2.5 years of an absolutely horrible situation. Volunteers from that failed rescue who come here say that they never knew that the dog had that much love in him and that much spirit. He's happy, he's healthy, he's loving. He's out of a very bad place and looking to go into the best place he could go, your home. Bosco is waiting for anyone who will come and just bring him home.